Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode. This is 10 years on. Now, you know, if you play Football Manager, that when you sim very long in advance, it takes a very long time if you have a lot of leagues open. With this took me 2 days of non-stop simming to go through to where we are 10 years in the future. Okay, this has been ridiculous. If you haven't seen yesterday's episode, we've done our season review and why we are doing the end here of South Shields. We are going to be excited. There is a lot to get through. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Bobby Munson. This is Mark Talks, and we are going to look at 10 years in the future. Right. Ready, Bobby?
I'm ready.
I really hope you are, because this is batshit crazy.
All right.
So, 10 years in the future. So, what happened to Munson? Well, as you'll see here, I highlight my mouse is literally over the top of him. As soon as he left South Shields, he retired. Never to be seen again.
Yeah, it was good money. I had a good nest egg. What can he say?
You just retired. Literally can't click on you. There's no way to find you. You were gone. As soon as you left, I think that was hilarious.
That's how I would have done in real life. Season like that, mic drop, out, gone.
Won all the trophies, don't need to do anymore. So, This is when it gets hilarious, okay? Since we left, there has been a number of managers. We're going to go through them, okay? Because it's fucking hilarious. So, after we left, the first person to take over from us was Graham Potter. He got sacked within not even a year of taking over. And then we had Sav Rattle, who was interim manager, who won a trophy during his time as interim manager, which then after that, Pep Guardiola took over. Yes, and that one. He was in charge of South Shields for 3 years, 30 days, and he won 5 cups.
Wow!
In his time as South Shields manager, he then I know this is where it gets really weird. He left, and then Thomas Tuchel took over. He lasted nearly 4 years. Mental. In his 4 years, he won the Premier League twice and won 4 cups. Which then he left and was never to be seen again. And then Peter Gill had took over at Newcastle, not South Shields. I'm watching Newcastle on TV, that's why. With South Shields, and he won the league once and won the cup twice. Now, that's a bit of a mental amount of managers. No, not mental amount of managers. Thinking 10 years, we were in charge. Look at this. We were in charge for 10 years. 329 days. We won 5 cup leagues and 7 cups. Mental, innit?
Yeah. But they did.
Your reactions to the managers that took over?
Hey, I mean, at least a couple of them still brought some prestige to the club and stuff like that. I mean, obviously they weren't quite on our level, but they still gave it some prestige. So we didn't, have watched the club sink and fall right afterwards. So good.
True. And we got Lego Legends in with Pep Guardiola. Must have been about 90 when he took over then. That did it. So here are the trophies.
Live forever, he will.
He's indestructible. This gets a bit mental. Okay. I'm gonna pre-warn. Okay, so you saw yesterday's episode, the trophies that we won. Okay, we're now going to look at the overview of it and when they won them. Okay, we're going to go through each trophies in a minute of when they won them. So we won the Community Shield once more after we left. We never won the Carabao Cup, but now they won it 4 times.
Well, at least the club got it eventually.
Exactly. Europa League, Europa Conference League, not the Europa League, the Conference League, which was way down, which I think was why Graham Potter got sacked. We won it. We won the FA Cup one more time. We won the Super Cup 2 more times. We won the Premier League 3 more times, and we won the Champions League 3 more times after we left.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all.
Mental. But you want to see who's won the Premier League because it's hilarious. By the way, I think this is phenomenal. So we're going to look at it. So you feast your eyes down here. So this was the season that we won. The year after that, Manchester City beat South Shields, and then Tottenham come third. The year after that, Newcastle won the Premier League with Tottenham coming second, and we come third. Liverpool then won it the year after that. Second, Tottenham third. Newcastle won it again in 37, where we come second, Arsenal come third. Then we won it 2 times in a row with Newcastle finishing twice in a row with Chelsea and Tottenham. Then the biggest shock of them all, Crystal Palace won the Premier League.
Where does that come from? What happened there?
They weren't even in the top 3 before that.
Not once. No. But then again, neither was South Shields when we came in there.
True. Very, very true. Newcastle then won it the year after that with Crystal Palace second, Arsenal third. We didn't even make the top 3. We then won it in 2042 with Crystal Palace second, and Newcastle finishing third. And then Crystal Palace won it again in 2043 with Aston Villa runners up, and we finishing third.
Wow. How the times have changed.
Soak that in.
Crazy.
That when I saw that, I wet myself. I had to stop doing the screenshots because I was laughing too much. I like Crystal Palace. I was born near Crystal Palace, but that is hilarious.
Yeah, but good for them. Good for them.
Right, next up, what we got? Right, Champions League winners. Okay, I think some of these are quite weird. So let's go into it. So as you'll see, this is the first we won it. Then we won it the second year here in 2033. Then we won it 2 more times straight after that, beating Real Madrid and Leverkusen. We won it in Ukraine and Portugal. We then come second against AC Milan. We then didn't come anywhere in the final when AC Milan won it again against Inter Milan derby in the final. Arsenal then won the Champions League at Wembley against us. In Germany, it was Newcastle versus Man City. In Spain, we won it again by beating Tottenham in the Santiago Bernabeu. Newcastle then won it against Crystal Palace in Greece. Crystal Palace got to a Champions League final. Is amazing. Wow. Newcastle then won it again against Inter in Austria. And then Fiorentina won the Champions League, beating Newcastle in, by the way, the greatest name of a country I've ever seen, Azerbaijan, in Baku. Your reactions to the Champions League?
This is wild. Like, and that many English teams either in the final or winning the Champions League during that time spell too. Like, that's wild. Absolutely wild. Go England.
No, and do you know what's even more mental? No Real Madrid won it, nor did Barcelona.
Yeah.
If you think about it, or Bayern Munich, and Leverkusen are the only highest German team in there to win it, to get out there, which is mad. Right. Next up, Super Cup time. When we went into it and lost to Manchester United, who have now finally popped up on a trophies list here now for you, Bobby, where they won it in Estonia. Amazing. Man United won it in Estonia. That's amazing. South Shields then beat Newcastle in Germany, and South Shields beat Liverpool in Poland. Then AC Milan beat Benfica. Wolfsburg beat AC Milan in Helsinki. Arsenal beat Lazio in Greece. Newcastle beat Manchester United in Denmark. This is amazing. Aston Villa beat us in Kazakhstan. Love it. most random country to have a final in. Real
Richest
Madrid
country in
beat
the world.
Newcastle in Ukraine, and yep, and Newcastle beat Manchester United in Slovenia. Your reactions to the Super Cup winners? Wolfsburg shocked me, by the way, and Villa.
It's kind of all over the place, actually. It's an odd list, but fun, interesting.
Yeah, it's mental. Right, next trophy is the FA Cup. This is where it gets fun, right? So after this was the first year we won it, then we won it the second year, then we left. So Chelsea beat Arsenal, Tottenham beat Arsenal, Liverpool beat Arsenal. Arsenal haven't won it later on, but they lost 3 finals in a row to them beating Man United. South Shields then beat Wolves. Wolves then beat Liverpool. Brentford then won the FA Cup by beating us. Liverpool then won it by beating Arsenal. Aston Villa won it back to back by beating Man United and Brentford. Mental. Brentford have won it in here. Love it, Bobby.
Don't curse me because I'm currently watching Brentford and Man United. It's embarrassing enough. So
So next, oh god, yeah, I've just seen the score. Okay,
yeah,
it just popped up at the bottom there. So next up is the Carabao Cup, and it is so we won it 4 times after I left. But Man City won it, then Tottenham, we won it back to back, then Arsenal won it, then Newcastle won it, and then we won it. Man United, Man City, Newcastle, we won it, and then Newcastle. There's the only shocks I would say during all of this is Sunderland making a final. Apart from them, Fulham. Apart from that, not many shocks I would say won the Carabao Cup. Apart from we never did, but the other people did.
Pretty much the expected teams
Slightly
to usually be at the top there. So
right, next up is the club information. So this is how the club looks now, okay, after we left. This is 10 years in the future. Me and Bobby are still there in the Legends. With the first Cloud Arena, which I made sure that there was the maximum point of capacity it could be extended to without leaving this ground, because this is the ground it started with. It now sits at 59,000 seater stadium.
nice.
The club, if you remember yesterday's episode, the club were making around about 180 million pounds. They're still making 200 million with a profit of 121 million, a season budget of 102 million pounds. But if you remember as well, the average wage we had was 36. The average wage now is 96. On there as well.
Get away with it like
it's
we
gone
did.
up a bit. So you also see here that Jack Sares is still playing for South Shields. 10 years later, the man is still here. The legend that I was going to replace in my final season is still here. Also, the estimated worth of South Shields, which I didn't see before I left, is £2 billion.
Damn. That's awesome.
South Shields is now worth. And we've got a highly profile professional team. Right, let's go to the next one. Records. So I went through the club and I had a look if there was any records broken or anything during our time. So all of these records here were made by us. So all of the asterisks next to it were all made by us when we were at the club. There's only a couple that isn't. The highest attendance, we weren't here for that one. Highest gate receipt, we weren't here for that one. This one here, the attendance is the lowest attendance. We were here for that one. 559 versus Manchester United under 21s. We were here for that one. The biggest win we made by beating Woking 6-0. The biggest defeat, yep, I definitely remember that one. We lost 4-0. The highest scoring match was against Altrincham in 2030. I remember that one. And the 5-4 against Millwall that we did in the league. Also, the highest, right, you'll see down below where, right down the bottom where it says transfers. Now, I didn't make this transfer. As you can see, we're in 2044. In 2040, we decided to pay £213 million to a player from Bayern Munich.
Wow. That's a
Now,
lot.
and I'm going to point this out as well. The highest transfer received was by a player I sold to the Saudi Arabians. I'm like, so next up, Jack Saras broke the record in the final season with us, where he got 50 goals overall in all competitions. He's now got the most appearances by a player ever in South Shield's history, with 460. His most goals he scored in a season was with us in our final season when he got 38. The highest average rating by Everson when we went there for that one. The youngest player is still by what we did in 2025 by Johan Martinson against Blackpool when we were in the Vanarama National League. The oldest player was by us when I signed Scott Dan on a free in 2024. The fastest goal was by, we weren't here for that one. We did it again in against Brighton. All of these records. Sam Harris, what a legend that man was. Seba, most clean sheets was done by Miles Boney in our second season, where he got 27. Most player of the wars by Everson wasn't here. The youngest goal scorer was still when we were managing, where it was Antonios in the championship. And by the oldest goal scorer was by us, where we put Andy Flint. I remember this game against Dorking. We shoved him up front because we weren't winning, and he scored. And then I wanted to go and have a look a little bit of Jack Saris, but I know that there's a new series, but it's amazing to see Jack Saris 227 goals he scored overall in 460 appearances. We've got a new series starting tomorrow. Bobby, looking at the overall, and before we talk about the new series that's starting tomorrow, your reaction to 10 years in the future of what was happened without us?
Well, I'm glad they didn't tank it after we left. I mean, I'm glad that the club's still thriving and everything like that. It's fantastic to see it. The worth has gone up and everything like that. They've carried things on, obviously not to the same tune that we did. I mean, we set them up well for it and everything like that. They just had to take the baton and run with it, and so they have. And congratulations to the club for carrying on.
Absolutely. So, new series starts tomorrow. This is all of the countries that are involved. Okay. This may be a bit hard for some of you to read at home, but you can zoom in if you've got on your iPad here. I'm going to try and read it as quickly as I can. We've got Greece, Hong Kong, China, Iceland, India, Indonesia, Republic of Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Malaysia, Mexico, Netherlands, Norway, Peru, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Scotland, Serbia, Singapore, Slovenia, Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Croatia, Czech, Denmark, England, Finland, France, Germany, Gibraltar, Slovenia, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, Ukraine. So,
Could be wild.
the new series is going to be called this: Around the World with me and Bobby Munson. It isn't going to be called Around the World with me and Bobby Munson. It's called Around the World, but it's going to be with me and Bobby Munson. At the top left, you will see here episodes, clubs, seasons. Okay, so seasons will change when we move clubs. We will count how many clubs that we get sacked from. I'm expecting a couple, and we will be doing episodes which will reset per club we go to. Okay, so it will mean that when we're at this club, if we do 40 episodes at one club, we move somewhere else, we will start at number 1 again. There is no rules behind what we do. Okay, we will come up with fun rules ourselves. There is nothing that we're going to be doing that there's a specific aim. All we know is me and Bobby have got the lowest ratings as a director of football. He has. I have the lowest rating as a manager. Majority of it is ones. I have one coaching badge, but I need more. I already have a club. Okay. I will announce that already. I didn't want to go through all of the hiring process and do all of that on it because it took so long. But it's between 2 countries, and I want you guys to decide at home where you think it could be. Could it be number A, Malaysia, where I have never ever managed before? Could we be going to Malaysia? Or B, Indonesia, where I have never, ever managed before. And I am looking for, by the way, my burn on my nut. You can really tell when I go full screen. So we're going to one of these two countries. Now, I want to see in the comments down below where you think we're going, because this is the end of South Shields now. We've completely done from this series. We will not ever see this series again. Might come back to something like this with a different team in the future. We may go to a different country to do the same thing. Who the fuck knows at this point? But what we're going to be doing now is me and Bobby are going to go on a jolly around the world and take the piss. That's basically what we're going to do. Yeah, Bobby, your reaction. Is there a country out of all the ones that I named? There is a couple that I really want to do. One, I want to do Canada because it's not the MLS, and I want to have fun to see what it's like to do it in there, because it could be fun in your own backyard to do that. But
Fair.
if there's a country out of all the ones that I named, where would you like to go the most?
I always like the ones that I've never, again, like, as much as I know football, I don't know it as much in certain countries. And even like the two that you've suggested for the start here, I'm curious. Malaysia, Indonesia, those are both very interesting choices.
Yeah, by the way,
I'm going to say Malaysia. Malaysia interests me.
Yeah, but I did have job interviews for 4 clubs per country of these countries, which was interesting. I also got a job interview for Royal Antwerp in Belgium, but but I don't know how I got that, because they're also in the Champions League, which I was like, I'm not doing that interview. Not doing that interview. So yes. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to end the episode here today. Bobby, final words on South Shields overall, and your feeling towards this series now that we have fully ended this series.
Oh, it was a phenomenal series. Again, it was an honor to be part of it. It was great to watch the growth of the club and everything. And onward and upward with what we got coming up next. This was phenomenal. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of this.
No, thank you ever so much for being here. Yes, it's been one of the most funnest series I've ever done, along with the Journeyman that I did recently. Most of the saves I've done on here have been really, really fun, but this one was different. This one was starting from well at the bottom and working our way up. So I couldn't have been any more proud of this team and the way it went, and everyone turning up and watching this series, and Bobby being a part of it as well. It was just a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed it. But this one I'm looking forward to the most, where me and Bobby are basically going on a jolly piss up around either Malaysia, Indonesia, or we could even go back to one of them or the other if we get sacked. So we will, if we don't get sacked during this series, I am an absolute genius. But I'm fully expecting it from it. But yes, thank you guys ever so much for watching. We're going to end it here, but with love, with care. My name's been Mark. That's been Bobby Munson. And we will see you guys tomorrow for Around the World. Been around.